everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue. I'm going to continue with my mini series because I really like these miniature little things, and I'm going to show you how I made these miniature little envelopes. These are tiny, they are in centimeters. They are, let's have a look because that's lace there, so you don't want to measure that. So it's 4¼ centimeters tall and just over 5½ centimeters wide, or in inches, 2¼ inches wide and 1¾ inches tall. Okay, and these are the flap style, so they're like this. Okay, and all I did was make them out of some scraps and use some little embellishments to hold the flaps down. That's all I did. I even decorated, well, not that one because it's already decorated, but this one was plain, so I decorated the back, and I decorated the back of that one too, because I thought maybe you might just want to paper clip them onto your journal page or put them in a pocket or something like that. So this is how I made them. What I did was I've made my own little tiny envelope template, and I it's not perfect really by any means, as you can see there, but I had a little tiny envelope in my stash, and I deconstructed it and just drew around it on a piece of just plain cream paper, and I'm just going to keep that as a template. So that's the style of mine. So basically it closes up like that sort of thing, or you could have it that way round, but that's basically how it closes. Okay, so let's do some. So I found some scrap paper, again scraps of things I've used in the past, and we're going to try and make 3. So we're going to lay this down on here, and I am just going to draw around it. That's all I'm going to do. And you know, you can make your own little template in whatever design you want. The drawing round bit I find the most difficult, so it's keeping your hands steady and the piece that you're drawing round completely steady so you don't move it. Okay, so that's one. So let's draw around the others and then we can cut them all out. So that's pretty much well, it's not really directional because B's are down and B's are up. So well, I think we'll just use this side and we will draw around this. So I'm just going kind of edge to edge on the paper. Just take that one out and drawing around it. So it's very simple and easy. I just thought to myself, I don't have one of those big shots, which are the big die cut machines. I know that lots of people have those die cuts, and you know, I just thought I just fancied trying to make my own without any machinery really. That's all. So that's number 2. And then this one I had folded that to make something out of and never made it, so I don't know if this, oh actually that's not big enough, is it? Oh, I hadn't noticed that. Let's see if I've got another piece. I've got some scraps of scrapbook paper in here. We don't want anything too thick. Let's use a piece of this. These are just bits of 12 by 12s. Again, this is not really directional, so I'm going to use this one, cut round here. So you can even make them out of book page, music paper, any scrap paper packaging, you know, as long as it's fairly sturdy. not too thin. I suppose you could make it out of copy paper. You could double it up maybe. I don't know. Right, okay, so that's a little template. Let's cut them out. This will be interesting. We're just going to cut that down there. So we've got save that piece. That's going back in the folder. And I'm going to cut that too. Save that piece. Might be able to make some more later on. I'm now just going to cut round as carefully as I can, which is saying a lot really, because we all know I'm not the best cutter outer in the world. But you can tweak these and make the shape slightly different if you want to, as you know, fold them up. So once I've cut them out, I'll put the crease lines in. So these are kind of rounded flaps on this particular one. You can make them more pointed if you want. So hope everyone's doing okay. And I've been away for a few days down to Somerset with my husband and Paddy Dog. So just always trying to catch up with everything, aren't I? As you know, that's one. Let's do the next one. Again, I'm just going to cut the excess off, because these bits do come in handy. They go into the scrap wallet. So yeah, so we went down to Somerset. We've had, oh gosh, we had a lovely time, and we do love Somerset, particularly Chard, and we are actually thinking of moving down there at some point, as I'm near to retirement. Yeah, it would be lovely. Always been our dream to move down further to the coast, down south. You know, we've done lots of our sort of long weekends away, and our short breaks have included Paddy Dog, so we've got to know quite a few places that have lovely dog friendly places to stay, and we've had some beautiful, really lovely places. You know, we've been very lucky. You know, hotels, B&Bs, mainly hotels actually, really lovely. When we took the boys to Blackpool, that was an Airbnb, sort of what you call a, I don't know, static lodge, or, well, it was called a lodge, but it's like one of those giant caravans, static caravans, one that stays in situ on site. And it was an Airbnb, and we didn't know what to expect, because you never do with Airbnb, to be quite honest. Not that I've stayed in that many, but enough to know that, you know, to be very careful when you get there. Sometimes it's not all it makes out to be. So let's get I use this to score. It's got a novel on each end. This is paperbox.co.uk, PAYPER box. Because I lost my scorer. It's like this, but it was a lot thinner and sharper. And I had a habit, I went through a phase, whenever I sold anything, like a journal or something, I'd often find that people would say, oh, you've left this, like I've left one of those in it once, in the journal once. And then I ended up saying, oh, just keep it, you know. So would you want me to send it back? And I just said, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm always doing that. Because I use them, when I've stuck something in a journal page, I often use the bone folder to, between the two pages, stop them sticking together. And I go through them before I sell them, making sure everything's still stuck down. So these are my crease marks, here, here and here. And I'm just really following them along. So basically you're just going from making a kind of almost a box or rectangular shape in the middle across each flap. so which makes that shape eventually in the center. We'll see how perfect they are in a minute or not. So that's those two, one more to go. And so I bought this, which I don't use for that purpose, and I think I bought it on the Fruit Pixie, but sadly the Fruit Pixie she's been shut down now for a long time, practically most of this year, due to illness. And I will think about this lady a lot, because I loved buying things from her shop, and wondering if she's, you know, obviously not okay, or whether it's her or whether it's somebody in her family, I don't know. So I'm going to just turn this up now and crease that, and turn the flaps in and crease them down. And this big flap always sticks up like that, and there you have your envelope. So we just crease down the flap, and then we can stick them down. So there you have your little envelope. It's really tiny. I think they're very cute myself. So again, get your flaps burnished, and I always do that. I always have the big one on the inside for some reason, and that's the second one there. It's very pretty, if I do say so myself. Let's see what the B one turns out like. This is pretty paper, and that one's not quite aligned for some reason there, that flap, probably due to my cutting. So I'll have a go at trying to make that a bit more shapely. I think that's better. This side is sloping more than this. I'm going to have to match this. See, this is what I do, and then I end up with nothing. Tiny piece of paper. That's much better really, and actually I may just square that off. That might help. That's better. Okay, and then we'll pop the flap down like so. So like I say, you can tweak them around as much as you want. Yeah, this one for some reason is not as aligned as the others. It's sad to say. I'll just see if I can crease it in. Ah, that's better, I think. That's better. Okay. Right, so we have our envelopes. We've just got one B that's turned up on there. Okay, so there's my template. So easy to make. You could just make it 2 straight lines and a triangle on all of them. I think they're fairly simple to do. I think if you drew your box, if you had a piece of paper this size and you drew your kind of shape, the size of the envelope that you wanted, and drew that on it, and then just go up from there. That's a good idea actually. We could make a different shape one. Let's try making a different template while I'm on camera. I've got lots of scraps of this paper. Now that's like a misprint there. So if I say I want my box shape, where's my pencil? Here it is. Okay, so I want, say, a box shape about that, or you can just use your ruler and mark one out. Okay, so there's my box shape. So let's draw a line and make that into a little kind of, you can make it into a proper box, square I should say, or a little rectangle like that. So this is how I'm going to make this one, like this. I'm just going to join up the lines. So it's only a template, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to worry about, you know. So then let's measure halfway. So that's 2.1 there. So that would be 1 point, say, a quarter of that. So that's given our centre line. So I'm just going to draw a faint line down there to the height of my flaps, like so. So I'm going to go 2.5, 1.5 up, and say 1.5 kind of down, and then I'm going to join those up, see what happens. So that's the top and bottom flap, like that. And just thinking about it really, and thinking, how can I make one myself, you know. And then I've got lots of scraps, they're always nice. So that's the top and bottom flap, and you can always cut those off, say there, once you've cut it out. And then we'll find that middle line again, and we'll do, say, make it smaller, the two side flaps. So we'll do 1 inch along that middle line either side, and then all we're going to do is join those up from that corner to there, and that corner to there, and oh, I just did it off. See, I didn't think too long and hard about it. When I don't procrastinate about things, things flow better. So that could be a funny shape. Let's see, let's cut it out, see what it looks like. Where did I put my scissors? Right here. So I'm just going to cut it out as carefully as I can. And yeah, I don't have room for one of those big shops, even if I had the opportunity to get one. You know, I suppose I could save the family, or if you all join in, put some money towards them, because I know they're quite expensive, and then you've got to buy the dies. So let's have a look what we've achieved. So we've got top and bottom, so now just score that along there. I want to see what it looks like. So I used the smallest ball there, score that along, and score that one, and then we will fold up the bottom flap like so. Ignore the inside, because when I was making a Harry Potter journal for my daughter, one of the first journals I ever made, the first two I actually ever made, and I never took any video of it, because obviously they were a surprise for my daughters, who are both in their 30s. One liked Alice in Wonderland and one liked Harry Potter. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to trim that across. So this is going to be my template, and I keep it straight. So put that on that line on the board, and I'm going to take that top bit off, like so. Can't even cut straight on a straight line. There's no hope for me now at my age, is there? So that's my bottom flap, and then we've scored the top one. That comes down like so, and you can leave it like that, or you can again snip that bit off, which I think I might do. So I'm just snipping a tiny bit off that triangular bit there. That's perfect. So I'm not too keen on that myself. And there we have another template, look, and this one is the pointy bits. This one was a roundy envelope and this one I've made myself off the cuff, and that was a pointed one. So there you are. That just shows you how easy it is to make your own template, and you can make them whatever size you want. Just use that as your guide. So, you know, start off with your square here, and then draw your lines and your middle line and your middle line, and then join them up. And that's as easy as it is. Who needs a big shot? Who needs dye? They do look nice, I must say, the die cut ones. Right, so we've got our little envelopes. Let's glue them down. Get this out. Hope this works today. So I am just going to glue along here and along here and pop that down like so. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could make that a shorter flap, but I'm not going to. I'm leaving that. So that's one, and that's quite high up there, so you'd want to open it and pop your things in, and you could cut that piece off as well if you wanted. See if we can do that straight. So that really does improve it, in my mind it does. Oh, we're now oozing. Honestly, the glues are so temperamental. So again, let's just snip that little tiny end piece off, like so. Straight would be good. That's better. Okay, and before we start dripping again, I never know which bit to, because I don't want it to stick to the inside, but we'll try it like that, and we'll stick something in it to stop it from sticking. And what shall we use? Oh, let's use the bone folder, and then let's leave it for someone else when we sell something. There, that's number 2. And oh, Susan, don't leave the glue sitting like that. And let's just trim that a little bit more, like so, just a smidgen, which is not straight. I'm better off on the white plain side of something to cut straight, really. So that again is I don't want to cut the bee off, so I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to glue this down. So I'm just going to, normally I just glue this bit here and here, and then pop that up like so. Okay, let's put a pin on that for a minute. Okay, press down, and I hope that we haven't glued the inside. So my favourite tool to use to stop things from sticking. Just give it a few seconds. It doesn't seem to want to stick down. This is thicker paper, that's why, and it's got, you know, the kind of embellished, raised, what do you call it? It's raised pattern on it, and that's why, probably. Right, okay. So now we can decorate them. So, oh, I'm not using you today, ink. So what should we use to go on these? Okay, well, they're so tiny. I mean, I want closures really on them, don't I? Which is why I would normally probably trim the flaps down. Do you think I'm obsessed with that? I think I am. So let's trim that down a little tiny bit like that, because then I can have a proper closure on it. So that's what I'm going to do. That will easily rub off with that. So now I can put a nice little closure on there. Okay, so I've got one of these little embellishments, which I thought was pretty, so we could pop that on. So in order to do that, I will glue that on with this, but I'd have to turn it upside down from it, so I'll put that over there. So that's what we're going to use for that one. And for this one, again, I'm just going to pop a tiny bit more off of there. Make sure that's straight. and like so, and give that little rub. What can we put on there now to make that? So what we could do is take my tiny little hole punch thing, circle punch, and I've got some scraps from what we cut the envelope out of. Let's make a little closure, see if we can make one that has a bee on it. Let's see if that works. So I can see underneath where that is, so I'm going to cut out a circle, and I always do a little stack of 3 to give it some weight. And let's use this bit here. So we've got our 3 here, and all I do is glue them together. So I'm just going to glue that one and that one together like so, and then glue my top one on like so with the bee, like so. There, can you see that? I don't know how close I am to you. Yeah, there it is, look. So it's there now, like that. And then I am going to glue that on here. And you want to glue it only kind of halfway down, or less than half. So I can see where the flap is. So I can see roughly to that line. So I'm going to turn it over, put my nail there, my thumbnail, and I'm just gluing to there. And then I always leave the flap down till I've glued it on. So oh, that didn't work very well, did it? So I get it in the middle and glue that down, and then lift that up and leave that to dry like so. Okay, and when it's dry you should be able to just do that and close it. Okay, like so. So that's our closure on that one. Let's do the closure on this one. So again, with this little jewel embellishment, I am only going to glue to that. So try that again. So pop it on where you want it. I'll put your thumb there. So I'm only going to glue this bottom bit here to there, and then I'm going to pop that on there like so. Position it where you want it. Okay, wait for that to dry, but I'm holding it, and then I can just lift that flap, pop it back under like so. And that's a pretty closure on that one. And then this one, what should we do with you? This has gone a bit baggy because of the glue for some reason, so let's just give that a burnish. It's different paper, it's craft paper. It's been, looks like it's been printed on, not by me, it was actually in a pad. So yeah. Okay, right, so what can we put on this one? So I think let's just fold that flap under a bit like that. See what that looks like. That is better, I think. So I'm going to, so you can either draw the line or you can bend it like so. And then let's find something nice to put on it. So I've got these little embellishments. So we could cut one of these off. And pop that on. Oh no, I've had a... What a waste, isn't it, when this happens? I should have put the lid on. So this one is going so tiny. I don't like those. Snip those bits off if I can. And I'm just going to pop that like halfway there, and put that halfway, keeping that so. Pop that down there and pop that on. So I think that, yeah, that's perfectly positioned fine, and we'll leave that one to dry. So that's got a little pearl on it. And then if we wanted to decorate the back of them, we could. So we've got a bee here. Okay, I have actually got some bee stickers. I've got some flower stickers, but I think, well, that might be nice, that one. Yeah, let's put that on, see what it looks like. Somebody sent these to me, which are very nice. So I've got to put that so that it goes across there like that. I'll just add a little burnish so it stays on. So that's that look, like so. Just one little sticker, probably all it needs, so the back is decorated. Okay, so that's enough for that one, I think. Now, what should we put on this one? So let's take that out, pop that down like so. This one, got a nice little daisy here, which is quite nice, and I've got some green scraps of cheesecloth. So let's have a little piece of this, and it's probably too big. Let's cut that down a bit, fray it out a bit, like so. And what about if we pop that onto there like that? I think that would be nice. Just simple little things. So I'm just going to put, either it all comes out like a volcano or it doesn't want to come out at all. It's one of those days for glue today. So a little bit of that for that to go on, and then, oh, that's the underside anyway, just giving that a little bit, not much, looks more than it is. I'm popping that on there like so, and that's the back of that one. Okay, so that's that one, and then let's put that lid on. It's going to come out again. Now this one is more sort of black. Got a little pearl here, so how about that pearl doesn't want to stick to this paper. It's very odd paper. Right, be careful because I don't think it's quite stuck itself down. Okay, so this one, I think, what should we use for this one? Maybe a little label would be nice. So let me get my labels out and see what we've got. What about one of these here? It's a botanical label. Botanical in brown, that's quite nice, or colour. I like the sort of sepia colour. But is that too much on that background, do you think? Or plain sepia label, maybe. Let's have a look in here. So I've got those. This is Love Junk Journals. and this is junk journal something, can't remember, sorry, apologise. So I get my labels from all over the place, really. Vintage mini labels, they were called. Let's just have a quick look. I'm going to one day make myself a little ephemera folder to put all these in, and wouldn't that be lovely? Instead of constantly rifling through them like this. Have I got any left in brown, do you think? So I've got this one, I think it's a bit too long, not very interesting. Let's find one of these. Let's see which one of these. So they're very tiny, look, very, very tiny. So do I want one that's horizontal or one that's upright? Decisions. My eye is drawn to this one for some reason, so we'll try it. We'll give it an audition, as Rachel from Roxy's Creations always says. Let's audition something. And I do like that idea. Because, you know, you might not like it. You think you do, and then when you put it down on something, you think, oh, I don't actually like that. So this is too tiny to read, but it's like a botanical label. So we could put that somewhere. Here, maybe. We'll give that one a little ink round. Just a quick one. Maybe we'll put it on top of something else. So this is probably too big. Yeah, so let's have a look in the Scrappy-Doo pile and see what we've got. Scrappy-Doo pile of all sorts of scraps that I use and then shove in here when I'm finished for the day. So I like this piece of netting. That's nice. So let's see. Shall we use that? See what that looks like. And I have that down there like that. Or have that like that. Oh, I quite like that actually. It's quite delicate. So we're just going to put, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put some of this down, which is not coming out, needless to say, making me look stupid. Although it doesn't take much, does it really? Let's face it. Oh dear. Oh, I think I'm still in holiday mode, to be honest. We came back on Thursday, like afternoon, and my husband was off on Friday, so it's quite nice to have a... Is that up the right way? Yeah, that is right. It's quite nice to have him home and have a day of getting over the holiday kind of thing. So I quite like that because it's quite simple. And you don't want to make them too bulky, really. And that's kind of quite neutral to go in anything, I think. So that's that one and that one. And that's our closure there on that one. And this, the back of this one. So I do like decorating the backs of them. If I was sticking it on a page, let's say a journal page, I wouldn't put the closure on because you would just be sticking that flap. Say this was your journal page, I know it isn't, you'd be sticking it like that, so you wouldn't need a closure, and you could stick that down there and there, and then you've got a nice little tuck on the other side of your journal page. So these have all got closures, only because I like doing them. So that goes in there like so. So those are the backs of them, kind of. Well, these are the backs really, aren't they? And those are the fronts, but you never really see the fronts per se. I do like that. That's very simple. So, you know, we could pop something now on these here. So let's think. So this is just literally a £1.50, and it came from the Works in the UK. So literally that is all it is, sticker book. And I mean, I could keep in the theme of bees, and I could actually pop a bee sticker, because that's white paper. I could literally put that there like so, and then give it burnish, and that really is all. Because actually, until you know where you're putting them or what you're doing with them, you don't want to over decorate them too much, because you might change your mind if you want to put them in a journal. It might not quite be in keeping with what. Oh, sorry, I just touched the cable. Yeah, I was looking for the pin for the art glitter, because this is coming out, so I'm literally just gonna pin it and wipe it later properly. Okay, so then we've got this one this side, which is just a plain botanical. So on here we could have a little bit of lace, I think. Let's see what we've got. In this basket, I mean, this isn't the only lace I've got, it's just these are the scraps I've left on my desk. So on that side, about a bit of, no, I'm not too happy about that. I mean, I'm just being lazy and not getting anything out. Oh look, that was perfectly made for that. See how to use your scraps up. And we'll just quickly do this. I'm just looking, because sometimes these are directional, and I'm going to use some of this if it deigns to come out. And I've got a cup of tea that I haven't drunk, so come on glue, come on, because I'm fed up with drinking cold tea, which I tend to do most of the time when I'm crafting. I don't know about you. To get a tea urn, I think. Now, which side did I want? This side. I was going to pop it on there and trim those off, and that, I think, just rounds it off nicely. And let's trim those down. Shaky hands again, so just have to excuse me. I haven't been on the wine. It's my thyroid, it's always up and down like a yo-yo. Okay, so there we have our little mini envelopes, and I really hope you enjoyed that and got some sort of inspiration to make your own. And as I say, it's very easy to make your little templates, as we made on screen today. So that was one I made from a deconstructed little envelope, and that was one we just literally did today on camera. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Take care everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.